Hello dear students of third prep science. We have here the first episode of revision about all the points in our syllabus, as we have number 1 as we have chemical reactions in unit 1, and we have in unit 2 as the physical properties of the electric current, and we have in unit 3 as we talked about the genetics. So we have to complete our understanding, as we have to make a general revision about all these points, and we have many types of questions as give reason, what happens, and some problems as we have physics problems about the electric current, and at the same time we have genetic problems, how can the traits is inherited from one generation to another generation. So let's go to start our episode today, the first episode of revision with general revision. نبدأ مع بعض أول question أو أول الحلقة. طبعا زي ما احنا شايفين we have general revision. Okay. The first question is, learn to walk is, or in children, is not considered a genetic trait. Again, learn to walk, تعلم المشي, in children is not considered a genetic trait or inherited trait. طبعا هنا قال خلي بالنا في الكويستشن not genetic, which means inherited trait, because we have inherited traits أو hereditary traits, صفة وراثية, and we have acquired trait. يبقى هقول له we have to answer here. أقول له طبعا as you see, because is an acquired trait. يعني صفة مش وراثية، طبعا هي صفة مكتسبة، طبعا not أو can't be transmitted from one generation to another، مش هتتنقل من جيل لجيل. We should learn as drawing, reading, playing football and so on. Next question بيقول لي red precipitate is formed on adding magnesium to copper sulfate solution. Here we have many ways to answer this question as we have give reason for. ممكن اجاوبه بكذا طريقة. But the هنا the first أو this point here we can answer by using chemical equation. We prefer to answer by this way. ان احنا نجاوب بالchemical equation أو بالchemical reaction. Because if we remember the chemical reaction, we can answer give reason for by chemical equation, and we can answer also by chemical equation what happens when, or complete the following statements, or choose, or right, wrong, and so on. يعني عندي كذا طريقة. But in lesson 1 especially, if we remember the لو احنا افتكرنا the chemical equations, we can answer these types of questions. In this question بيقول لي a red precipitate أو راسب أحمر is formed on adding magnesium يعني Mg to copper sulfate CuSO4. We remember from the chemical activity series this reaction is a simple substitution reaction. يعني it depends on how can we remember the chemical activity series. More active element replaces the less active element as we arrange the elements in descending order to according to طبعا the chemical activity. So here نبدأ by using chemical equations. لو أنا عرفت chemical equation we can answer. But in give reason and what happens, we write the chemical equations with names and colors as possible. طبعا في colors not in your syllabus، مش علينا في المنهج, but we have another elements or another compounds with colored or colored in our syllabus. نشوفها على المونيتور هنا قدامنا ازاي نقدر نجاوبها by using the chemical equation. So here we have هكتب طبعا عندنا red precipitate زي ما احنا هنا بيقول، يعني راسب احمر is formed on adding magnesium to copper sulfate. We should focus on magnesium and copper sulfate. يبقى هكتب له كده Mg plus CuSO4 forming طبعا on the other side as the products here. Magnesium will replace what? Will replace copper and get it out. So we have as answer MgSO4 plus Cu, red or reddish brown precipitate. So not this answer is not enough. لازم ده give reason. يبقى لازم اكتب هنا magnesium. اوكي لازم اكتب هنا copper sulfate. لازم اكتب هنا magnesium sulfate plus copper, and the color of copper is red or reddish brown, PPT, as precipitate. Okay. Next question is, by increasing the temperature, the speed of chemical reaction increase. Again, by increasing temperature. So here, dear students, we should remember, لازم نفتكر مع بعض. By increasing temperature, by increasing the concentration, by increasing the surface area as powder مثلا, or fillings اللي هو البرادة يعني الباودر. تمام؟ يبقى لو قال لي increasing temperature أو increasing concentration أو increasing the surface area, we have only one answer. Why the speed of chemical reaction increase? هقول له because the collisions between molecules increase. يعني هنا الانسر بتاعتي اقول له because the collisions between molecules will increase. So the speed of chemical reaction will increase. التصادم ما بين الموليكولز. Okay? So if we have temperature or concentration or surface area, give reason for ليه increase the speed of chemical reaction. اقول له طبعا because the number of collisions between molecules will increase. يبقى يلا نجاوبها مع بعض. اقول له because هنا اهو because بنكتبها هنا قدامنا because the number of collisions between ده ممكن على المونيتور between molecules will increase. يبقى نخلي بالنا مع بعض by increasing temperature the collisions between molecules will increase. Okay? Number 4, alternating current is preferred than direct current. طبعا here we have many reasons. We talk about AC as alternating current, and at the same time we talked about the direct current or DC. So why we prefer to use alternating current than direct current? ليه؟ طبعا ايوه we have the advantages او مميزات the alternating current. هقول له because alternating current or AC, number 1, can change into direct current. ممكن احول الالترنيتنج لدايركت. The first option. The second option, transfer for a long distance. ممكن انقله مسافات طويلة. Number 3, and this considered as option برضو او ميزة, اقول له has variable او changeable متغير intensity and direction. Has variable intensity and what? And direction. So we answer number one, direct current can be changed, alternating current can be changed into direct current. Number two, transfer for long distances. Number three, has variable intensity and direction. يبقى عندي three options here to use alternating current than direct current. Next question is, magnesium can replace copper in its salt solution while the opposite is impossible. يعني المغنيسيوم كان replace copper، يقدر يخش مكان الكبر. but the opposite العكس ما بيحصلش. يبقى هنا which one is more active؟ which one is more active؟ اكيد المغنيسيوم. يبقى اقول له because magnesium is more active than copper. not complete answer، خلي بالنا. in chemical activity series. هو انشط منه فين؟ in chemical activity series. يبقى هقول له because magnesium is more active than copper فين؟ in chemical activity series او متسلسلة النشاط الكيميائي يعني. next question، انا هسيب نمبر 7، هنحل نمبر 8. بيقول لي burning of steel source is in a jar filled with oxygen is faster than burning in atmospheric air. So here we talk about what? We talk about concentration ولا we talk about the surface area ولا we talked about the طبعا concentration surface area ولا temperature. طبعا هنا بيقول لي burning حرق steel source يعني حته او مقطع من الستيل طبعا in jar filled with with oxygen، في oxygen بس faster than burning in atmospheric air. طبعا هنا في oxygen برضو في الاتموسفيريك air صح؟ بس هنا in atmospheric air oxygen with other gases يعني مش لوحده. but here we have oxygen only. so we talk about what? we talk about the concentration. يبقى هقول له الانسر بتاعتي as we see here. هشيل بقى كده واكتب الانسر بتاعتي. هقول له because the concentration increases so the speed of reaction will increase. Okay, يبقى here we talk about what? We talk about the concentration. If the concentration increase, the speed of chemical reaction will increase. طبعا we know why, because the collisions between molecules will increase. هنا بيقول لي what happens when heating of sodium nitrate and next one is putting a piece of sodium in water. طبعا هنا We can answer by using what chemical equation. Some students may answer by using مثلا words, statements. ممكن يجاوبها عادي كده، بس أنا بفضل يعني to remember the chemical equation to answer many questions by using chemical equations. طبعا هنا بيقول لي صوديوم نيتريت، الصوديوم Na، نيتريت NO3. Heating, we should remember we have triangle here. Producing what? Producing by heating. طبعا هنا بنحط 2 يبقى we have 2 Na NO2 plus oxygen. طب just like that? No, we haven't give reason, and what happens? We answer with words and color if it possible. So we have here sodium، بكتب له كده تحتيها sodium nitrate. طبعا its color is white، لونه ابيض. طبعا by heating change into sodium nitrite NaNO2 nitrite, and its color is yellowish white، لونه ابيض مصفر yellowish white. طبعا plus طبعا oxygen. So we remember the answer by using the chemical equation, as we have sodium nitrate and its color is white. It changed by heating into sodium nitrite and its color is yellowish white. طبعا plus oxygen gas evolves. Next question, we have to remember putting a piece of sodium in water. We remember this equation in first prep في اولى اعدادي خدناها، in second prep في ثانيه اعدادي خدناها, and we studied this equation in طبعا third prep. طبعا كل سنه كنا بناخدها which this equation we studied before in او from a specific view. كل مره بناخدها بطريقه معينه. طبعا هنا برضو by using chemical equation هكتب piece of sodium in water يبقى 2Na plus 2H2O. طبعا صوديوم more active than hydrogen، هيطردوا بره صح؟ يبقى هكتب هنا 2NaOH صوديوم هيدروكسيد plus H2 جاز اللي هو الهيدروجين evolves and burn with pop sound، وهيحصل فرقعه. يبقى هكتب كده صوديوم plus water producing sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen burn with pop sound. طبعا burn يعني يشتعل بفرقعه. As we studied before in first prep خدنا في اولى اعدادي قلنا we don't put off the fire of sodium by water، مش هنطفي حريقه الصوديوم بالميه. او كنا بنقول مثلا we cover sodium by كيروسين، لان الصوديوم react fastly with water forming sodium hydroxide and what and طبعا hydrogen burn with pop sound. Number 3 بيقول لي exposing a man for a large dosage of radiation for a short time. لو الانسان تعرض لجرعه ضخمه large dosage of radiation بس for a short time لوقت قصير، طبعا ايه اللي هيحصل له؟ طبعا many طبعا symptoms كتير من الاعراض. يبقى اول حاجه هقول له damage of spleen الطحال، bone marrow نخاع العظم، تمام and nervous system والجهاز العصبي as brain and spinal cord causing ويحصل له ايه vertigo and nausea ارهاق واعياء طبعا like bag in this case هيبقى عامل زي الشنطه مش عارف يتحرك من مكانه يبقى in this case damage in spleen bone marrow طبعا we know bone marrow forming the red blood cells هو اللي بيكون كرات الدم الحمراء او red blood cells and destruction or damage in the nervous system causing vertigo and nausea طبعا اللي هي الارهاق والتعب الشديد طبعا by damage of these parts in the human body. طبعا chemical change in gene. What happens هنا؟ لو هنا we talk about the genetic change of the gene طبعا هنا causing abnormal birth مواليد يعني مش طبيعيين او مشوهين by changing in sex chromosomes. We have another question هنا ممكن اكتب سؤال تاني هنا في الحتة دي ممكن اقول له مثلا cellular change طبعا cellular change يبقى change in the structure of red blood cells. In what? In red blood cells carried oxygen. carried ايه الاكسجين طبعا we know red blood cells contains hemoglobin اللي هو بنسميه بالعربي الهيموجلوبين اللي هو carried the oxygen طبعا inside the blood vessels. طبعا here we have a question as heating red mercuric oxide لو انا غيرت او we heat red mercuric oxide by using what here dear students by using chemical equation هنستخدم برضو الchemical equation طبعا red mercuric oxide هقول له 2HgO red mercuric oxide by heating change into 2Hg as a mercury plus O2 as the oxygen gas evolves. We should write the names and the colors. طبعا هنا بكتب mercuric oxide red forming mercury has silver color لونه فضي as we remember mercury is used in thermometer بنستخدمه في الترمومتر طبعا لونه الميركوري as element لوحده has silver color طبعا plus oxygen gas evolves. So we answer by using chemical equation. Next question is heating of blue copper hydroxide. Heating of blue copper hydroxide. طبعا لو قال لي heating of blue copper hydroxide طبعا we use chemical equation CuOH by 2 as what? As blue copper hydroxide. Will form. طبعا we know copper take only one oxygen atom. Copper will take only one oxygen atom. So here we have what on the other side? We have CuO as copper oxide. And its color is what? Is black. Its color is a black. لونه اسود. طبعا plus what? نخلي بالنا بقى مع بعض. We have here 2 hydrogen, we have 2 oxygen, but we take only one oxygen. So the rest is what? الباقي هيبقى ايه؟ هيبقى H2O as water vapor because we have heating here. يبقى plus water vapor. Okay? So blue copper hydroxide change into copper oxide plus water vapor. طبعا black copper oxide plus water vapor evolves. So dear students, in these types of problems or in these types of questions, في بعض الأسئلة اللي زي دي especially in unit 1 lesson 1 الأسئلة اللي في unit 1 في lesson 1 we should use the chemical equations to answer maybe يعني تقريبا all the types of questions as give reason, as what happens, as complete, choose, right, wrong. Because if we remember the chemical equations, we know the reactants and the resultants اللي هيحصل واللي هينتج عنه. As برضو in second lesson, if we talk about the speed of chemical reactions لما كنا بنتكلم على ال speed of chemical reactions طبعا by increasing temperature, by increasing concentration, by increasing the surface area in powder or in fillings or in turning اللي هو البرادة يعني طبعا the speed of chemical reaction will increase because the number of collisions between molecules will increase and so on. يبقى unit 1 depending on the chemical equations or the chemical actions. If we write it we can answer any type of question. But in unit 3 we have genetics and we have 2 types of traits, especially the hereditary traits, الصفات اللي بنورثها. We have dominant and recessive. We have strong traits, صفات سائدة, and we have recessive traits. We should remember this information. We should remember this point. Dominant trait appears only if the gene is pure or hybrid. A dominant trait appears if the gene is pure or hybrid. الصفة القوية هتبان لو كان الجين نقي أو هجين. عشان كده سموها dominant. But the recessive traits appear if the gene is pure only. مش هتظهر اللي في حلاوة. As a short stem, as a white flower, as a green seed. ولازم نفتكر ان the symbols الرموز in unit 3 in genetics. tall stem يبقى T capital. طب short stem يبقى T small. The letter of recessive trait took from the letter of the dominant but small. لما اقول له yellow seed يبقى هاخد letter what? Yellow يبقى Y capital. Green seed Y small and so on. هنا عندنا problem او what happens but we answer by using parent gametes and F1. هنا بيقول لي pollinated peace flower hybrid yellow. نبص كده مع بعض hybrid yellow seeds with each other. خلي بالنا من كلمة hybrid يعني not pure يعني one capital one small and we know yellow seed is dominant with each other. طب يبقى هعمل parent gametes F1. Parents is what? Y capital Y small with Y capital Y small. لأن هما hybrid is what? Is hybrid yellow seed. Okay, next step we segregate. هنفصلهم عن بعض. Y capital, Y small, Y capital, Y small. As in circles. هنحطهم في circles as you see like that كده. يبقى Y capital, Y small, Y capital. As we talk about gametes, half number of chromosome, ها? Then we will distribute, نوزع بقى. First with first. We remember like that. Y with Y. Then Y capital with Y small. Then Y small with Y capital. Then Y small with Y small. هنبقى نعمل ايه بقى؟ هنكتب هنا مع بعض Y capital, Y capital, Y capital, Y small, Y capital, Y small. خلي بالنا هنا we start with Y capital because the two letters are similar. لما يبقوا الحرفين نفس اللتر يبقى الكابيتال will write before the small. And last one is Y small, Y small. طبعا we have what? We have 3 to 1. 3 yellow seed to 1 green seed. Okay, يبقى the ratio is 3 yellow seed as 1, 2, 3, and 1 only is what? Is green seed. 3 to 1 in the second generation as Mendel's first law we have as law of segregation. هنا بيقول لي calculate the quantity of electricity. عايز ال quantity of electricity اللي هي what? Quantity is Q. Passing in a conductor of resistance R equal 1000 ohms for 30 minutes. So here we have time. But remember time not in second. هنا problem in minutes and we should convert. If the potential difference between two ends is يبقى ال V is 120 volts. So أنا عايز مين؟ ال quantity. And we know quantity we have two rules أو two mathematical rules to calculate the quantity. عندي number 1 أهو I Q over T صح؟ We have another rule of quantity as we have V equal Q over what? T صح؟ Why is the quantity? We have a potential difference here and we have time here. So the excess information in this problem المعلومة الزيادة اللي أنا مش محتاجها resistance. So from this equation we can write طبعا ان ال 30 minutes change into seconds صح؟ هنا بس هغير حاجة في التريانجل ده كده V equal W over Q عشان احنا بس حطينا الكيو تاني مرتين زي التيبل التريانجل اللي قبليه. طيب ازاي احل بقى هنا؟ الاي موجوده عندي؟ نو. التايم موجود هنا. طيب البوتنشال ديفرنس اهو. الورك دان مش موجود. طب ازاي عندي تو انون واطلع الكوانتيتي؟ طب يبقى ذا ايزير واي ان انا استخدم التريانجل ده. طب اوكي يبقى firstly we should calculate the electric current intensity. لازم اطلع الاي الاول and we have T so we can calculate Q. يبقى هعمل ايه؟ هقول له R from this triangle تحت اهو R equal Q R equal V over I. حلو قوي. We have R, yes, 1000 ohms. يبقى I equal V over R. V equal 220 over 100 ولا 1000؟ لا 1000. So I equal how many? By using calculator, 220 divide 1000 equal what? 0.22. 0.22 watt. Don't forget to write the watt. Yes, the measuring unit. يبقى I equal 0.22 ampere. طيب we want to calculate what? Q from this A triangle. يبقى Q equal I times T, sorry. يبقى طبعا T 30 minutes. Change into seconds by multiplying with 60. يبقى Q I how many? 0.22 times طبعا التايم is 30 times 60 equal what? 900. تاني 30 minutes times 60 seconds. نتأكد بس معلش. 1800 equal what؟ يبقى أنا عندي we can calculate the quantity of charge. يبقى 0.22 times 1800 equal what? 396. جنبها هكتب ايه بقى؟ 396. We calculate the quantity, so its measuring unit is yes coulomb أو coulombs. So here, dear students, we can use in these types of questions زي ما احنا شفنا كده مع بعض ان ال problems we can use more than. لو بس هقول حاجة هنا, we can use more than one triangle. مش شرط ان انا استخدم triangle واحد in any problem. يبقى in this problem we use two triangles. One to calculate the electric current intensity, then by another triangle we can calculate the quantity of charge. يبقى خلي بالي, maybe we have two triangles or maybe three triangles. يعني some cases we have three triangles. We just have three triangles in unit 2. maybe in some cases we can use the three triangles in the what? In the problem. يعني ممكن استخدم triangle اطلع منه حاجة. From this quantity we use another triangle to solve or to find another quantity. Okay, and so on. يبقى نخلي بالنا. Okay. طيب. Next type of question is show a result of crossing between زي ما احنا شايفين red flower pea plant and white flower in the first generation. عايزهم في ال first generation red, بس خلي بالنا hybrid red يعني not pure. يلا نحلها مع بعض ونشوفها كده. We have three steps. عندنا 3 خطوات اللي هم parent, gametes and first generation. اهو ادي parent, gametes, F1. hybrid red او hybrid purple, المهم ان هي dominant. يبقى R capital R small with what? white flower. طبعا white will is a recessive, يبقى pure طبعا, يبقى R small. okay. طبعا by segregation we have R times R. So we segregate by using circles زي ما احنا هنعملها كده اهوت. as you see, then F1 R with R capital R small, R capital R small, R small and then R small. ازاي؟ first with first. then first with a second, then second with first, and then second with second. So here we have how many? We have 4 individuals. 2 are red flowers, 2 has white flower. 2 to 2 simplify as 1 to 1. So 50% red to 50% has white flower. So this ratio not like the first law and second law, because we have 2 conditions in first law of Mendel's first law, and we have 2 conditions in Mendel's second law. طبعا the 2 individuals are pure and the contrast. Here one of them is not pure, مش pure يعني مش نقي. So we have another issue. Okay, we should remember the definitions of law of segregation as the first law of Mendel, and the second law of Mendel as law of independent assortment. Okay, you have 4 similar cells. خلي بالنا 4 similar، يبقى عندي هنا 4 similar cells. Electromotive force of each one، كل واحدة فيهم 1.5 volts. Explain by drawing. How can you connect them؟ ازاي اوصلهم مع بعض to obtain battery of electromotive force equal. اول واحدة 1.5 volts، تاني واحدة 6 volts، تالت واحدة 3 volts، رابع واحدة 4.5 volts. نشوفهم كده مع بعض. طبعا هم 4 volts، 4 ايه volts. يبقى نخلي بالنا ازاي احل اول واحدة. طبعا كلهم ب 1.5 volts وكلهم 4 cells، مش 4 volts سوري. يبقى انا عندي all are parallel in first case. All positive poles are connected together, and don't forget they are 4 cells، يبقى لازم we use 4 cells. And all negative poles are connected together as you see. So the electromotive force of the battery is 1.5 volts because we connect the cells in parallel here to obtain minimum electric or electromotive force. All positive poles are connected together and all negative poles are connected together. كل دول يبقى هنا ب 1.5 volt. طب here we want to calculate or to obtain 6 volts. طبعا هقول له we connect them in series. Each positive pole is connected with the next negative pole and so on. How many? 4 cells. Okay, we have 4 cells. طب negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, and so on. طبعا كده يبقى electromotive force equal what? 6 volts. To calculate او to obtain 3 volts. لو انا عايز اطلع 3 volts هنا by 2 ways ممكن. ازاي؟ طبعا زي ما احنا شايفين اهم 3 volts يبقى 2 parallel 1.5 with another 2 parallel as you see like that with another 2A parallel 1.5 with 1.5. The summation of these cells equal 3 volts. دي طريقة. Next one to obtain 3 volts برضه. أنا عايز 3 volts بطريقة تانية. أقول له 3 parallel 1.5 volts and 1 in A in series. يبقى equal what? 3 volts. يبقى 3 volts اللي هي نمبر 3 دي ممكن اطلعها بطريقتين. 4.5 volts اخر واحده. اوكي 4.5 volts يبقى ممكن اقول له 2 parallel equal how many? equal yes 1.5 plus 2 in series. ال 2 in series يبقوا بكام؟ ب 3 volts. So the total طبعا because series we sum the electromotive force of the cell. So here the electromotive force equal 4.5 volts. By the end, dear students, of this point in our episode today, we finish this the first طبعا revision. Next time we have another revision. I hope you can understand all these points in this episode. Thank you. See you. Goodbye.